Hey everybody, sorry it's been so long since I made a video. Around the holidays I got kind of busy and haven't gotten around to making the second part of the Barricade, which I'm about to show you right now. So, here it is. Once you get your Barricade all painted up the way you want it, and I put some orc graffiti on mine, you're going to need something to make a base. I used this kind of thick cardboard paper type stuff that I found, and you just want to cut out a little sliver big enough to fit your Barricade from end to end and have enough width that when you stand it up it's not going to fall over. Now my Barricade has enough layers in it that earlier I was able to stand it up on here without any glue, like that. So what you're going to need to do is take some glue and just run it on the base, and then set your Barricade on top of it, and you might have to hold it there while it dries for a little bit, but I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and I will be back with my Barricade once I've done that. Okay, now that we have the Barricade base completely covered in black, we're going to do a brown dry brush on top, or you could substitute the brown with a gray color or like a tan, depending on what color ground you want this terrain to match. And so we're just going to get a little bit of paint on the brush and wipe it off on a paper towel, and then just drag the brush across the top of the sand and create our dry brushed effect. You really don't need a whole lot of paint on the brush because we're only kind of getting the top of the grains of sand and rocks, because you don't want the paint to seep down and just completely cover the black, or else it'll just be like one solid color. You want the black in there so that it'll create like a shading effect. And the paint always dries a little bit darker than it looks when you apply it. So we're going to have to go back in and probably do several different coats with different shades of brown to bring out those highlights if you want. So I'm going to do the rest of this off the camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I've already based the Barricade, and I did that on camera, but it accidentally got deleted, so I'm going to show you how to do the same thing on the base of this Space Marine. What you're going to do is you're going to take your white glue and just drop some on there, like that. And then you're going to take an old brush and spread it around and get it all over the base. And this is the exact same technique I used on the Barricade base. So once you have it all covered in glue, you're going to take your modeling sand and just dump it on top of the base and shake off the excess, and there you have the sandy base. Now, since I've already let the glue dry on the Barricade, I can go ahead and paint it. So I'm going to take my undercoat black, and I'm going to use my dry brush and just take and paint the black all over the base. And just get it covered so that the paint will actually dry hard and hold the sand on top of the base. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint a layer of brown dry brush on top of this so that it actually looks like dirt. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the rest of this off camera, and I will be back when I'm finished. Alright, as you can see, I've gotten my basing completely covered with brown. I'm probably going to go back in and do some more highlighting with that, but I'm not going to show you that on camera. I just want to show you one last technique for you to finish off your Barricade. We're going to use the same dry brushing technique that we've been using, but instead of painting more on the base, we're going to paint onto the Barricade itself, and this will make it look like dirt or mud or whatever has actually like flown up and gotten the metal stuff dirty. And I like to do this on things that are in the dirt, like the shoes on Space Marines or anything like that, and I think it just adds kind of like a realistic effect, and I like how it looks. You don't really have to do this if you don't want to, but I just think it adds more realism to the terrain. And so once I get this done, I will probably go back and highlight a little bit more on the base itself. But other than that, concludes the Orc Barricade tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to create a video response or leave a comment telling me about your Orc Barricade that you made following these steps. I'd like to hear about it. So long.